Right, we're back again, baby. Now this is stream number 55, even though I just did a stream literally 2 seconds ago, but we were having technical difficulties like usual. Unfortunately, the video game thing, I really hope that Path of Exile will get optimized a little bit better. So it's basically impossible to play it on stream. But that's fine. Be- How did I lose the fucking droid cam again? Oh my goodness, hold on. What just happened? It was just working. Bro. Oh, oh my god, I was about to say. I just literally reset everything and it came back on. Oh, whew. Well, as I was saying, we're gonna do some painting. We're finishing up this bad boy today. Well, not finishing it up. I don't know why the fuck I said that. Definitely not finishing it up. Um, Hold on. I do need to change something on this because way off with the blacks. I think that looks better. Yeah, because this is like jet black, so I don't know why it's looking like it's like tan almost. All right, so the last time I think I was just doing the black more around it, trying to fix it up, but I need to go in and finish all these little spots. And then I'm gonna go in and outline everything, but not like outline it. I'm gonna try to make it look like it's gonna be a lighter color than what's below it, is what I'm gonna attempt to do. So while we're doing this, of course we gotta do some YouTube roulette. We gonna hit that roulette button. Let's see what we got. Tom Dark is, oh man, I wish I was cool as him. All right, what do we got, baby? Whoa, what? Sheriff Shoji coaching by State Police at MGM again? Wait. Did he get fucking alright, he got pulled over for a DUI recently. I don't know if this is the same thing. Oh, sorry.
Was that who's busting what?
Gonna change his tire.
Okay, just to let you know, we came down to this.
Yeah.
We are recording, just so you know.
Yeah.
What happened?
I was going around the corner. I popped the tire.
Do you know where? We're trying
Oh,
to.
you
We're
were-
looking to see
okay,
where
so this
you
is
were
when he
in the
got caught.
casino and everything, and
It's all good.
it's all good.
Change his tire.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. The problem is, hang on for a second. Were you the
Oh,
one driving
come on,
it?
bro.
No.
You weren't driving it.
No.
Okay. Who was driving you?
A friend of mine.
A friend of yours? He's in the casino now?
Yep.
Okay, we'll see that too. All
Bro.
right, but I need you to stay here for a second, all right? Sir, none of us wants to be involved in this, all right? But I can
Okay.
smell alcohol
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
from your breath.
100%.
I've got this right here.
Yeah.
Everything's on camera. I got to take it by the
Just let
numbers.
him change the tire.
I got to take it by the numbers. We're going to review. If your friend in there was driving, as you say, we'll see that on the camera. I can go talk to him. Everything will
Oh,
be
dude,
good.
I hope this cop doesn't
All right.
get, like, fucking...
What's that? Okay.
Okay,
Just
so
sit tight.
if nobody knows, um, this is like the major city. Well, this is like where I'm from, or where I live, basically. I don't live in Springfield, but somewhere near Springfield. But I am very familiar with the city, and that sheriff, Kochi, has been like a huge part of the community for years. And I believe his dad was sheriff, and he kind of like passed it down to him or something like that. I might be completely wrong with that. But yeah, dude, he is fucking smashed in that video, and he, dude, it's crazy seeing somebody so high up in law enforcement like do stupid shit like that that you like that they make fun of like criminals for doing or like dumbass people for doing. What a retard, dude.
All right. Yeah, that's fine.
I got it right. I got it right. It's a good guy. It's a good guy.
Why do you let him walk away and talk on the phone?
Once you're off the phone, I'm waiting for a few more people to get here, and we'll talk it through. Okay, I'm just waiting for the field OIC to come down. All right. Once the field OIC is down here, we'll talk it through. Okay.
Why are you being a dick? Not your buddies. Just because it's the state police, not his own.
Seriously?
That would
I'll tell you
stand
what.
out.
Leave the car here. Leave it.
Nope, sir. Sir, I'm gonna ask you to stay here, stay put. All right.
Why?
Till we figure this out.
You're drunk as fuck, bro.
Because based on what I'm seeing here
Yeah.
and smelling alcohol in your breath, I'm going to have to do an investigation through this. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And if everything is fine, you know, if it
Yeah.
determines that there's no
Change the tire.
no, he's not changing the tire right now.
Let me tell you
Absolutely
something.
not.
You can change the tire.
He's not changing the tire yet.
Yeah. Okay. Want to go down the road, huh? Okay.
I want to take everything right by the number. Okay. By the numbers and by the book, sir.
That's what we do.
That's correct.
Yep.
All right. And if at the end of it everything is good,
Stop turning towards me.
no, sir, just stand over here for me, all right?
I'm not
Please.
going to go back in the fucking...
No, you're not going back in the casino. All right, sir. Sir, I understand you are the sheriff. I respect that immensely. But right now I'm conducting an investigation, okay? I need you to stay here and follow the directions,
100%.
okay? All right?
Why are you walking away then, you fucking
You can't pop the tire, huh?
What's that?
You can't pop a
We're not
tire.
going to be able to put a tire on that rim anyways. That rim is completely and utterly destroyed.
I got my guy.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Where,
cares, bro.
do you know where you ran
Yes, I
something
do.
over? Where was it?
Right up on the corner. And I took the turn.
Took the turn into here?
Yep.
Okay. There it looks like there's a plant on there. Was there a plant that
Might have been.
might have been?
I don't know.
But that's where it was. So the remnants of the tires should
Yep.
be down. Should be down
I
that
don't
way.
know.
You don't
I have
know?
no idea.
Okay. Can I ask you where you're coming from today?
Springfield Country Club.
Springfield Country Club.
Ah.
All right. Golf tournament?
No,
No, we're just there.
I was there playing golf.
We're there playing golf. Okay.
Yeah.
Bro, I didn't realize how fucking like much of a dick he was being. Fucking retard. Wow.
What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for another one of my supervisors. So you can have two people here, okay?
Good.
All right. That way, everything's
No, it's all
recorded,
good. It's all
everything's
good.
affected,
It's all
everything's
good.
going to be
It's
nice
all
and
good.
easy,
Yeah.
okay, sir?
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay. No, you know what's happening, bro. You're about to get your whole career destroyed. And
Officer
decided
Cotto.
to drive from the country club to fucking.
Can you head
Indiana,
down to the
drunk
corner
as
at
shit.
East Columbus and just see if there's any remnants of the tire there at all? That's where you were and there was nothing there?
The right may not be.
May not be where you hit it?
Okay. That's where I hit it, but
Okay. Did you, after turning in here and hitting it, did you drive anywhere else where we could find the tire?
No.
No? Okay, I'm just saying, the tire should be somewhere between where that was hit and here.
Yeah,
Okay.
go look.
Can you just do me a favor one more time? Just walk down there and then walk the whole way back to see if we can find the tire.
Probably drove up the top for like miles of this thing. It's funny how when these guys are running for like office or sheriff or something, they're like the nicest, most community-friendly guys, and then you see videos like this, and it's like, wow, that
Appreciate
guy
your
was actually kind
understanding.
of a piece of shit.
You're a good man.
I appreciate your understanding.
Yeah.
Maybe you realize you got a problem, bro. I think he released a statement immediately after this that was like completely opposite to what the video is showing. I wonder if he called the cops. What a dumbass. He should have just gone inside. I mean, I'm glad he got caught, but...
Someone coming over from
Awkward!
Okay. We're going to take a walk over where we're a little bit out of sight. Okay? No. How much you had to drink tonight, sir? Couple beers?
Yeah. Keep recording me. We're not going nowhere.
Okay. I'd like to ask you to do field sobriety.
Nope, not gonna happen.
Not going to happen?
I'm not driving. Yeah. Feel sobriety for what?
Well, you drove in.
That was a long time ago.
Wow. So you were more drunk?
What's up, Nikki? I'm by my car. Nope. No, it's all good.
No, it's not.
Yep.
He got arrested, right? I really hope he got fucking arrested. I mean, I guess they didn't catch him driving.
Security right inside if you need to address something there.
Where the Mass Mutual Center is.
It's across the street on the other side of the casino. Yeah. All right, can you stand with him for a second?
Sir.
Thank you.
Damn, that's crazy. Where's the rest of the video? That's weird. Oh, so they did arrest him. Dude. California, man.
I'm Kevin McGowan. I'm the director with the LA County's Office of Emergency Management. As my partners up here have said before, we're facing a historic natural disaster, and I think that can't be stated strong enough. This is not a normal red flag. We've been in partnership with the National Weather Service
Santa
for
said,
days
I heard on the radio
prior to the arrival of this severe
making the
windstorm.
fire burn.
There's been
at, like,
amazing communication by the
what was it,
National
like a
Weather
couple
Service, and they
football
should be
fields an
acknowledged
hour?
for all of the communication that was put out days in advance. What's critical about that is
Man, that's
it
scary. That
partnered
means it's
all
a
of our
firestorm.
public safety and emergency
So
organizations
that means, like,
throughout the county to begin
It
preparations
could probably
for
be
this.
completely fine
And a lot
one
of the
second, and
successes we saw over
then
the last
within
18
minutes,
to
the
20
whole
hours
fucking
is
neighborhood
a
is
direct
on
result
fire.
of
That's so
painstaking
scary.
preparations that had gone into place for the last
I gotta
48
say,
to
I always thought
72 hours.
California
We
was
still have a
like
long road ahead of
a
us.
place I wanted
Our
to
county
live and
is
move to, but
known with wildland fires.
got
We just finished
nothing really good
working
going
on
on
the
out
Franklin
there.
fire. We've had the bridge fire, the post fire. This has been a very destructive fire season. This is just going to add to it. Our eyes are on mitigating the impacts
It's
from this
crazy where it
emergency,
is, too.
working with our
Like,
community
how
partners,
close it is to
and
all
then
that,
charting
like,
the course
historic
for
shit
what will be a
and all those
long
fucking
recovery effort.
rich-ass homes,
With that,
which is
I would like to
ironic,
introduce
to say
our
the least.
Department of Public Works for LA County Director, Mark Pistrella.
Good morning. Thank you, Kevin. My name is Mark Pistrella. I'm the Director of Public Works for Los Angeles County, the largest public works department in the United States. We're coordinating across the area with all our partner agencies, including, of course, primarily the City of Los Angeles, in addressing this event today. I'm going to talk a little bit about what our focus in terms of infrastructure, and then I'll move on. Before I do that, though, I do want to acknowledge all of the residents that have either lost a home or who are being evacuated. I do personally understand what that is about and understand what kind of fear that can put into you. One thing I would recommend to you before you leave that home, if you want something to do, is to close that home up tight, close any openings, completely tight to the home, and make sure that access is open to the fire department in the event that they want to come on and do work on your property. That's one thing I've learned through the years is important. So right now, LA County Public Works is focused on water supply, the road safety and transportation system, and preparing our flood control system for the inevitable post-event, which may be flows of debris and mud. With respect to water resources, there's been quite a bit of talk in the media about the water system that we're using for suppression. So let me make the following statement. There have been quite a bit of comments over social media about the local water supply and its impact on firefighting efforts. There is collaboration across this region. Over 200 water retailers serve the region. LA County serves the area that in the Eaton fire area. LA City serves the area, the Palisades area. We also serve the Palisades area in the north area of unincorporated area water supply through the hydrant system. The municipal water systems that service our homes and businesses continue to work effectively. However, they are not designed to fight wildfires. A firefight with multiple fire hydrants drawing water from the system for several hours is unsustainable.
Get like thousands of viewers of them sleeping.
That's why air support is so critical to the firefight. And unfortunately, wind and air visibility have prevented that support.
Like,
County water reservoirs, however, county and city water reservoirs, open reservoirs, are available and on standby once that support becomes available. We will be having fixed wing as well as helicopter.
You know what I mean? Like, if not, then I mean, I get how it was smart to put somebody else like on while they were sleeping.
It is really
like
quite futile to attempt to fight fire with your hose at your house. That's not something I would recommend you do. But in fact, I would ask that you turn off your water and turn off your gas, both things, before you leave the residence, so that we can continue to have that water supply for the hydrant system. The transportation system is operating with many closures. Those closures are meant for evacuation,
I feel like you get to a point
as
where
well
you're
as
so
fire
big on
suppression
here
efforts.
that, like,
so we're asking residents not to abandon vehicles in streets, to not park vehicles in streets, but to leave those vehicles on your property. And we ask that you drive very carefully, because we also have the other event of wind right now. And we have numerous signals out
so you really only
the area.
catch like
so
every,
very consciously in the street system. And then the
every
third piece in the road system and in our homes
like
is the wind is causing massive tree fall. We have numerous, over hundreds and hundreds of trees that have fallen in the area already. We expect more of that to occur. This is a safety hazard for you and your children. So we're asking that you avoid walking outside, avoid being under trees, avoid parking cars under trees. All the things that you can imagine that a tree can do. A tree can be just as devastating to a home and to your personal self as a fire. So please be aware that the wind event is going to continue, and the infrastructure is in place to do with that. We are currently preparing to remove that. We are removing trees as they fall where it's safe to do so. There will be a mass debris removal system put together that the county is coordinating. We would be removing and working with the cities to remove the mass debris that's going to occur, not only from the structures that have been damaged, but all of these trees that are down. So please, one of the things is, make way for our utility workers who are in support of the very brave firemen and sheriff and police force that are out doing their job. We are in full support of them. So lastly, on the flood control system, this is just a quick note that yes, in fact, we will have a lot of debris. The flood control system has been impacted. That covers the entire region by the fire. In fact, many of our facilities have been burned. one in Eaton area, Eaton Yard, where there is a debris dam there, and its facilities are currently threatened. We're looking at that and going to raise up those systems. As we enter into post-fire, our department will be available to do a review of your individual properties to make sure that you're safe from debris flow as another event that may occur in LA County. With that, I'm going to happy to turn over the microphone to my partner from the Department of Water and Power, the General Manager, Janice Quiñones.
Oh,
Thank you, Mark. I am Janice Quiñones, CEO and Chief Engineer for LADWP. I want to start by thanking everybody on this response. I've been in emergency management my whole career, and the collaboration I've seen in this response has been incredible, especially our first responders, our crews. I want to thank our crews that have been working on high winds trying to restore power as fast as possible. And also county, city council, mayor's office. The mayor has been in contact with me all the time. And also other utilities in California have been proactively reaching out to us to help us with the restoration. So we're in the process of contacting them to ask for more support. I want to continue the thought process that Mark had about water supply in Palisades.
the weirdest country.
We had a tremendous demand on our system in the Palisades. We pushed the system to the extreme. 4 times the normal demand was seen for 15 hours straight, which lowered our water pressure. We were pushing 75 CFS on our trunk line to try to keep water pressures in the system. If there's a message you take away from me today, is I need our customers to really conserve water, not just in the Palisade area, but the whole system, because the fire department needs the water to fight the fires, and we're fighting a wildfire with urban water systems, and that is really challenging. What happened in Palisades? We have 3 large water tanks, about 1 million gallons each. We ran out of water in the first tank at about 4:45 p.m. yesterday. We ran out of water in the second tank about 8:30 p.m. and the third tank about 3 a.m. this morning. Those tanks help with the pressure on the fire hydrants and the hills of Palisades. And because we were pushing so much water in our trunk line, and so much water was being used before it can get to the tanks, we were not able to fill the tanks fast enough. So the consumption of water was faster than we can provide water in our trunk line. So I want to make sure that you understand there's water on the trunk line. It just cannot get up the hill because we cannot fill the tanks fast enough. And we cannot lower the amount of water that we provide to the fire department in order to supply the tanks because we're balancing firefighting with water. So we have our operations people on the water side at the command post with the fire department, helping them with tactics to ensure that we can provide as much water as we can find to our first responders. What are we doing now? We're sending about 20 water tanks for our construction crews full of water to support the fire department. We identify other areas in our system where our tankers can refill. It takes about 30 minutes to refill about 4,000 gallons of water, and we're constantly moving that water to the fire department to get them as much water as we can. I would also ask for the people on zip code 90272, because we're pushing the water system so hard, our water quality is decreasing. So we're going to be issuing a boil water notice this morning, and that will extend for about 48 hours. The water quality is low. We have a lot of ash in the system. And so please, if you're going to be drinking water, you need to boil the water. Those boiled waters will continue to increase as the system starts restoring. We're also managing a power outage restoration. Our water emergency has been the #1 primary issue, but the power issues are continue to increase. The winds picked up at around 11 p.m. last night, and that's when we saw the majority of our outages coming in. As of 7 a.m. today, we have 135,000 customers out of power. We have restored about 78,000 customers since the start of the outage. 32 customers have been out of power for more than 10 hours, and 7 for over 18 hours. If you are out of power, I urge you to call us, call 911, let us know so that we can get to you as fast as safely as possible. We are on a severe emergency activation at the EOC for both water and power. It's taking us 24 to 48 hours to get to all of the outage. That's why we're going to start increasing our mutual aid request to get more crews on here to reduce that restoration restoration time, but we cannot do that until it's safe for our crews. And I'm happy to report we have had no safety incidents for either the water and the power crews, which we need all the crews safely operating in our system.
Okay, man.
40% of our
shit is
outages were
terrifying. I
due
can't
to
imagine
us
being,
having
like,
to
trapped in, like,
de-energize the
flames
circuits
and
for
not
public
be able to
safety.
get out.
And we cannot energize them until it's safe to do so, and we have put eyes on our system. 20% is because of wire downs, and 6.5% is because our system has protected
how the
itself
fire
from
started,
further
though.
outages.
Did they ever
and so we
say?
have to patrol every line before we come back
It'd be
online.
crazy if it was arson again.
With that, I just want to thank everybody and Madam Chair.
Thank you so much. We want to transition. We're 5 minutes over. We do want to give a little bit of time for question and answer with the press. I'm going to call on you. Please identify yourself, your name, and which media outlet you're with. I see a hand up here. We'll go with you first.
Because this press conference called One Voice is bringing together some of our city leaders, our county leaders here together for this incredible tragedy, this crisis that we're experiencing right now. And a lot of our viewers are asking, how can other Angelenos help? Because people want to volunteer, people want to help. What's the best way that other folks out there that want to help, what can they do?
Well, first of all, thank you for that question, because I think this does speak volumes to the fact that it's not just at the local level, it's at the state and the federal level as well, and it is one voice. We're seeing these fires taking place countywide, which is stretching our resources, but to the public, I mentioned All Saints in Pasadena that's opened up its church to people that are evacuating, people that are not only part of their parish, but also people that are seeking refuge. I would encourage, and we will work with our Office of Emergency Management, to put together a list of what you can do to help. I know at Pasadena Convention Center, they're looking for resources, food, and blankets. Red Cross is putting that together, but we can always use more. So this is the time for us all to come together. I mean, we're trying to wrap our heads around just getting this fire under control. But make no mistake, we will put something together so that people can offer their support. You are seeing the goodness, and I know Supervisor Horvath mentioned it. With all these horrific stories you hear, you also hear stories of people that are doing amazing things to help their neighbors and their community.
Thank you for that. I'll go ahead in the green shirt.
Yeah, the DWP was talking about the problems with the water supply, and I was wondering if either the DWP or the fire department has any kind of numbers to talk about, like what is the number of hydrants that could not get water because of these pressure issues, what percentage of the system in Pacific Palisades wasn't getting service at that point, and given the type of things you're describing this morning, do you think there needs to be an overhaul of the system, given these increasing number of urban fires? And also, when does the mayor return?
And name and media outlet, please.
David Zahniser with the Los Angeles Times.
Thank you.
So, Chief, please correct me if I'm wrong, but we were trying to keep water at all altitudes on the Palisades, and I think about 3 in the morning, that's when the hydrants went dry above the Brentwood area. We are able to push water on that trunk line on the east side of that. And we have some water on the higher elevations, 16 to 18,000, but at 3,000, at 3 a.m., all of the fire hydrants went dry in the Palisades. To your question of climate resiliency and how do we need to update the system, I would say that is true. We were talking with the county supervisor and Mark on how are we going to change the way we operate our water systems for events like this. This is an unprecedented event. I think the 2011 winds.
God damn. Rich, spoiled, bratty sisters think they can bully and assault family. It's pretty hot. Oh, shit. Cat light. Rip her shirt off. Oh, I can't say that.
Hey yo, there's a bunch of new 50 series cards. Valve's put.
I feel like if I ever did end up having like a bunch of viewers, I'd probably get canceled pretty damn quick by just me saying something stupid.
and stimulus everywhere, and NVIDIA decided to be a benevolent god. Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your Brett host. We're going to be going over the hottest tech news I can find on the internet while you enjoy your breakfast this Wednesday, January 8th, 2025. We're still in Vegas for CES. We got to explore a whole lot of stuff. I just want to remind you that we do still have our PC giveaway going on over on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/UFDtech, if you want to join us over there. But I do definitely want to join the ranks of RTX 50 series owners, if not purely for the fact that the RTX 5090 is SFF ready, at least according to NVIDIA's SFF certifications. It meets the criteria. It's the only 5090 on the list, and essentially all 50 series Founders Editions are now on the small form factor ready graphics card list because they are less than 2.5 slots, and they are within 304 millimeters of length. So the 2-slot RTX 5090 continues to be a wonder. We're going to discuss a little bit later in Hot News a little bit about how they achieved the 2-slot. They did reveal some details, but other third-party companies releasing all of their various accoutrements with their GPUs. They're going to be massive. The third-party cards appear to be 3.5, 4 slots for the 5080 and the 5090. You have companies like Asus announcing an entire new product line of Astral GPUs, which is supposed to be like the high-end version. It's going to have 4 fans, 3 on the bottom, 1 on the back. And they're also additionally going to have a liquid cool version, which is reminiscent of their Matrix card that they had that was limited edition for the 4090, but now it should be more of a regular appearance for the 50 series. And then you have MSI, who showed off some of their cards, accidentally being wrong about the specs on the RTX 5080. They oops-a-daisily showed an RTX 5080 box with 24 gigabytes of VRAM. That's not a thing, so it's actually 16 gigabytes of VRAM. The Vanguard Launch Edition is not 24 gigabytes, but they're also announcing that they have a Lightning edition of the RTX 5090, which has a lot of fans. This has 5 fans included, 5 Stormforce fans. I loved the Lightning when I had it for the 1080 Ti. We did a video on that way back when. I think, yeah, like Rickus was in South Africa that we did that one. Anyways, just a little special edition GPU coming out from MSI with a ton of fans. While NVIDIA decided to make everything small, compact, and tight, third-party companies are having to expand their cooling portfolio to cool that 575 watt TDP GPU. Now, I tell you, cooling me, especially when I'm sitting down at my desk, is not an easy task. So I'm missing our chair from the office, which is today's video sponsor.
What are you sitting in right now? A stiff, uncomfortable gaming chair? Why don't you give an ergonomic office chair a try, huh? Luckily, Sihu offers the Doro C300 Pro, a comfortable and sleek office chair that is certainly better than whatever you're currently sitting in. Oh, and they're also sponsoring this video. The Sihu Doro C300 Pro is designed to dynamically support you while you sit. Their dynamic lumbar support system adapts to your spine as you readjust yourself in the chair throughout the day, ensuring that your lumbar is always getting the support it needs to promote healthy sitting. Sihu's wide-angle mechanical headrest also follows a similar design. Unlike traditional headrests, you don't have to manually adjust this headrest. Auto-locking mechanisms work to place the headrest in the most optimal position simply by resting your head back. A standout feature for me was the level of adjustability on the armrest. You can adjust these in pretty much any way you can think of. Up, down, front, back, in and out, and even an angular pivot. My goodness. The Sihu Doro C300 Pro itself is super solid and easy to put together. The cloud netting material is both comfortable and functional, being breathable, tear resistant, and stain resistant. The waterfall design of the seat also works to reduce pressure on the lower thighs, maintaining better circulation. If you're someone who spends extended time sitting, do yourself a favor and do it in a chair that is not only comfortable, but better for your body. You check out the Sihu Doro C300 Pro ergonomic office chair via the link in the description below. Thanks to Sihu for sponsoring today's video.
Well, while the Sihu office chair can breathe and make sure that my back doesn't get sweaty, we now know some more details about how the RTX 5090 Founders Edition is going to be able to breathe. And part of that is because it's using liquid metal thermal paste on its GPU, which helps to more effectively dissipate the heat. We're starting to see this pop up more and more in various different consumer electronics. Asus has put it in their laptops for quite some time now. You had companies like Sony putting in the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 Pro, and now you have NVIDIA leveraging that for the cooling on their RTX 5090 to make sure that the GPU is actually transferring as much heat as it possibly can to its cooling solution. That doesn't mean in and of itself that the cooling capacity of the heat pipes and the fans can tolerate 575 watts. It just means that it allows those heat pipes to work as best as they possibly can with that GPU die. And we find out more about the RTX 5090D and the GPU die that's going to be going on with that. This is the Chinese exclusive card that NVIDIA is obligated to make for the Chinese market. Because of US trade restrictions, they can't sell the fastest card to China, so it has to be cut down. The D stands for Dragon, so this likely means that it's gonna be released before the Year of the Snake, which is taking place at the end of this month. But for gamers, it should mean that they experience absolutely no performance difference whatsoever. It comes in at the same CUDA core speed as well as the same base and boost clock speed, and the only difference that NVIDIA is showing in their spec sheet for the 5090D is that it is going to have roughly 1/3 less AI performance. It's only going to have 2300 tops versus the 5090, which is 3300 tops. But the 5090D still beats out the 5080, which only has 1800 tops. So it doesn't appear like they're coming in with a 5080D. It's just the 5090D is reducing the AI performance, making it so that it should meet that trade embargo restriction. But gamers over there are going to be able to thoroughly enjoy the raw power that is the 5090, however much that ends up being better than the 4090. And we don't know how good this little device that NVIDIA announced. I didn't bring it up in yesterday's episode of Hot News because it was already jam-packed full of stuff, and I was filming during the keynote, so I didn't get to hear everything Jensen was talking about. I just, as soon as the new GPUs came out, that's when I decided to film. But they also unveiled Project Digits, which is a supercomputer that is essentially smaller than a Mac Mini that fits on your desk, and it has allegedly 1 petaflops of AI compute performance. Now that's FP4, they're measuring that in the way that they want. This is essentially NVIDIA's first entry into the PC market, theoretically. 4TB SSD, a 20-core ARM CPU being combined with that Blackwell GPU. They're calling it the GB10 Super Chip, and it's just going to be a tiny little desk-mounted computer that will allow you to more effectively run local AI at your desk. It's going to cost $3,000. They're saying that it's for AI researchers, data scientists, and students, not necessarily for gamers. Probably wouldn't be for them at all. But $3,000's what you're gonna have to pay to get NVIDIA's first PC. Hopefully Reese can save you $3,000 over the course of the year with his deals.
Yo, welcome back to UFD Deals, bringing the hottest tech deals out on the internet. Thankfully, I'm a lot more live today, and it's actually cool out, which thematically works very well because a lot of today's deals focus on keeping things cool. Like first up, we have the ID Cooling SE214XT. This ARGB CPU air cooler is available in white for only $16.19. But then next we have something back on sale, which is the Corsair iCUE SP120 RGB triple fan kit, which you can pick up for only $31.99, making it $48 off. I know a bunch of you picked this up last time and sent me some really cool photos, so if you missed it last time, you can grab this, and if you need more, hey. And then lastly, today we're finishing on a combo deal with the Zalman Z3 Iceberg ATX mid-tower case, which comes included with a 10X Optima 2 CPU air cooler and a Gigamax 600 watt 80 plus bronze power supply, which you can pick up all for only $99.99, making it $49.98 off. Budget builders stay winning. And with that, the deals are done. You can find these and more linked in the video description down below. But until next time, I'm gonna hand you off back to Brett for the rest of your hot news. Cheers.
Well, Reese, we finally got the deal with what's going on with SteamOS. Valve coming in partnership with Lenovo to announce that, yes, the Legion Go S is going to have both a Windows version as well as a SteamOS version. Lenovo also announcing that they're going to have a Legion Go 2 prototype with OLED, but I want to focus more on the partnership that Valve announced with Lenovo. PC World, Adam Murray had a great interview with one of the Valve engineers discussing all of the details on the plans for SteamOS moving forward, the partnership with Lenovo, what they're going to be looking at, and this by no means degrades the plans to release a Steam Deck 2. They say that's still top priority. They say that this shouldn't slow down updates, but everything should be fully supported on this secondary Lenovo device, and that this first third-party handheld to run SteamOS is purely out of just convenience of Lenovo being a willing partner, having hardware that's launching at a time that was convenient for Valve in order to make this. So we're expecting
Beetlebo Swaggins, what's up? Oh, that's what that noise was. Oh shit, I got pinged. Thank you for following. Thank you for stopping by. Ow. I just do painting and like a YouTube reacting and just kind of chill type of stuff. I'm very new to this, but huh, interesting. Oh, I wonder if it's still on. It might be a setting I had on. Hold on. Follower only. I have no idea. I'm still getting used to what all that means. But thank you for following. Oh shit, we're at 18 now. I'm getting so close to 25. Sick.
That SteamOS should
Enjoy
expand,
the
and
stream.
OS beta should be happening sometime in April or May of this year. Bleaching OS is also going to be launching around that time frame, so both getting it on the gaming handheld, but potentially allowing you, a gamer, to install it on various different devices. This is the future that I wanted. I love to see that this is developing SteamOS in more places, on more devices. I think it's the best handheld solution for PC gaming at the current moment, and I'm glad companies like Lenovo are picking it up, and Valve is supporting it so heavily. And speaking of software support, NVIDIA came out with a big announcement, not about GPUs, but rather their cloud gaming. They announced that they're expanding where GeForce Now is going to be playable. Big one is the Steam Deck. It's going to allow for that, which is great news for anyone who wants to play more demanding games on the go. But on top of that, they announced that they're going to have native support for things like the Meta Quest, as well as the Apple Vision Pro. So NVIDIA just kind of giving cloud gaming to a lot of different platforms, kind of trying to match what Microsoft has done with their Xbox cloud gaming. But GeForce Now is available in a lot of countries. It's even available in South Africa. It's coming soon to India as well as Thailand with various different service providers. And I like this because it provides extra options to the gamer. You don't always have access to a high-end gaming PC while you're out and about, and GeForce Now allows you to play your own game library while you're traveling, or you're using a computer that potentially can't handle it. But speaking of not being able to handle things, let's talk about what NVIDIA decided to do with DLSS and their upscaling technology that they didn't really focus on during the keynote yesterday. So a lot of details came out after the fact with slideshows and presentations and just kind of conversating with the tech press about what NVIDIA.
Also, if you end up stopping by again, or you see the end of this video, or no, it won't be on the end of this video, but the end of the next video, your name will be added to the end credit thingy that I made. So keep an eye out for that for sure.
NVIDIA is choosing to do with the RTX.
Oh, what do you like to usually paint? I can't find you.
Yeah,
I am. I usually paint my geometric type of stuff. Oops. Which is more. Get over here. This one I'm also working on, but there's something like that. Hold on. Let me get the good one. This is my baby. It's a little bit bigger, so I don't know if it's gonna show. Oh. But yeah, this one took a while. A lot of mine are these very, very geometric, detailed paintings that take entirely too long to do. Oh. But oh shit. I should really put my Instagram thing in my bio. I never thought of doing that. I probably should just hold on. I need to just remember what the actual link is to my Instagram. And oh fuck. Instagram. Oh, what am I doing? Do you know use acrylic paint? I don't know much about paint. Yes, that is pretty much all I exclusively use is either golden acrylics or Liquitex, also good. But a lot of times you really only need basic colors because you can pretty much mix anything together. All right, let's see. I need to make a why is there not like a share button? There's got to be a share button on here somewhere. Oh, okay. Here we go. John Goodman. Oh, Instagram. Is it working? Okay. I found it. Here. This is my Instagram. Paint through there. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, when I was a lot younger, I used to do Warhammer 40,000, and I used to paint all my little figures and everything. I'm actually super mad because I don't know what happened to all of them, and I had like a whole like fucking suitcase of those things. A whole Necron army. I had a whole Space Marine army too. Man, and then I remember I had this one figurine that was just like so overpowered that like when I actually played the game, I could never use it because it was just too overpowered. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know it drives me crazy that I cannot find those things because like it seems like Warhammer is becoming like way bigger now again. Like it's having like a resurgence or something. So I would love to. Maybe they're in my like storage room or something, just chilling, waiting for me to find them. But I have a weird feeling that they're gone. But I don't know how, like, why I would have got rid of them. Like, I wouldn't have just thrown them out. So I think there's foul play involved. I'm just kidding. But yeah, basically, just trying to sell my paintings at art shows and stuff like that. Eventually, I want to try to, which I've been saying forever now, but what I'm going to do is make prints of all my my paintings, all my drawings, all that stuff. I'm gonna make prints and sell those for cheaper, so I don't have to sell the originals and stuff. But this is basically just like the beginning ish process of like the base of this painting, and then eventually it will be all filled in, and I'm gonna go over a lot of this with highlighting and really trying to make this pop. So we'll see. Unfortunately, the type of pencil I used when I was designing this one just absolutely destroyed some of these colors. Start the video again.
Series. So obviously Jensen showed off on stage that the 5070 is equal to the 4090 at $549 without disclosing how that's even possible, but it's likely due to the use of DLSS 4 and the fact that it actually can generate 2 extra frames on top of the current frame generation that is currently available. So NVIDIA is calling it multi-frame generation. So for every 4 frames you're rendering in a game, 1 of them is real, and then 3 of them are being neural rendered by the Tensor cores that is on the GPU. Crazy. With NVIDIA saying that it can render up to 8 times higher performance in games like Cyberpunk 2077. Now, obviously, there's the discussion of fake frames and is this good enough, etc. But there have been some technical deep dives that I want to talk about in a second, because you would think if they're generating extra frames, this is going to increase the latency by quite a bit, especially because one of the main criticisms that I've had, as well as other gamers have had with the frame generation, is that yes, technically your frame rate is higher. That comes at a cost of the game being less responsive. Even if the frame rate's higher, it actually plays nicer with some games if you turn frame generation off. But NVIDIA is addressing this with a lot of different upscalings that they're doing to their DLSS protocol. So they're using different transforming technologies with the neural rendering, and they're backporting a lot of this to previous generation of cards. So if you're on the 20 series, 30 series, or even 40 series, you will be able to take advantage of some of these extra features of DLSS 4. So the deep learning anti-aliasing is going to be available on all RTX versions of graphics cards. The DLSS super resolution that actually uses a new transformation technology and actually gives you higher frame rate, but also does it at higher quality. I think they said somewhere between 20 and 30% better frame rate and just higher quality in general. That's also being backported to the RTX 20 series. And DLSS ray reconstruction, which was at first introduced, I believe, in DLSS 3.5. It just makes it so ray tracing comes at less of a performance hit and you get better reconstruction of the ray tracing in the games. That is also coming to the 20 series and up. Frame generation is still going to be exclusive to the 40 series and the 50 series because of the optical flow accelerators, but the multi-frame generation is going to be exclusive to the RTX 50 series. And that's likely how we're getting 5070 equals 4090, because it's utilizing multi-frame generation, whereas the RTX 40 series can only utilize a single frame generation. But Digital Foundry actually already has a hands-on, not a super deep dive on how all of this works, but we have this linked in the description below. But they did get to do some generic tests. They weren't allowed to disclose frame rates, but what they were allowed to disclose is frame time consistency. So we actually don't know what the frame times are, but you can see the green line here is actually the multi-generation of 4 frames, and the blue line is the multi-generation of 2 frames. And the frame time consistency on both is actually fairly flat. So it's not introducing any instability to the frame rate. And then they also evaluated not the frame time latency, but the general latency of using these extra frames. And what they found was that yes, using the extra frames in multi-frame of DLSS 4 on the 50 series introduces more latency, but it's not as much as you would expect.
Like, that's fucking crazy. That's even like possible. Like, that's even a technology that's like actually possible right now. That is nuts. That it literally just makes up the frames with the AI and then inserts them in the right order with the right amount of speed and the right amount of. That's crazy. How much shit has to happen at the literally the same freaking time, same millisecond. That is wild. It's wild, baby.
appears that a lot of the latency that happens with frame generation happens at the very beginning of the pipeline. So over a 2.5-minute Cyberpunk 2077 demo, they found that the 40 series capable 2x frame generation only had an average latency of 50.97 milliseconds. Bumping that up to 1 extra frame generated at 3x was roughly a 10% increase to 55.5 milliseconds, but then to add in an additional 4th frame only introduced another 2 milliseconds of average latency, 1.8 milliseconds to be specific. So to technically double the amount of frames generated, you're only increasing the total latency by roughly 12%. And as they showed, that 12% latency hit is coming at a 91% frame increase with the new DLSS setup. So this appears to be a very intriguing thing that NVIDIA is doing. Obviously, there's a conversation to be had, and I'm sure you guys are going to have that down below in the comments, about fake frames, the generated frames that are being rendered using the tensor cores and the rasterized frames, which are being utilized with the CUDA cores, how all of that plays out. Obviously, I think at the end of the day, a lot of it comes down to gameplay experience. And one of the things that Digital Foundry also found was that this new method of the transformer in DLSS actually brings higher visual fidelity and less ghosting than the previous generation, and that's coming to all RTX cards. If you're on a 2060, you will be able to benefit from this just as much as if you get an RTX 5070. So NVIDIA giving a lot of new features to a lot of different owners of RTX graphics cards. You don't have to be on the latest to get some of the enhancements that NVIDIA is bringing out, such as that higher visual fidelity with DLSS. But I think a lot of this is just going to come down to how does the game actually play. If the tensor generated frames feel worse than the raster generated frames, then people aren't likely to use it. But I think one of the things that is just kind of clear from how Jensen communicated during his keynote is that he views tensor generated frames as being equal to raster generated frames, which is why they can put up a slide that says 5070 equals 4090 at $549, because in his mind and in his communication, they are one for one. They are the exact same thing. Maybe RTX 50 series is finally the generation when turning on ray tracing doesn't come at such a performance hit. It only drops your FPS by, I don't want to make any assumptions, but I think if it's 10% or less, that's when you can acceptably turn on ray tracing, as long as it still keeps you over that 60 FPS at the resolution you're trying to target. If you only lose 10% to get higher visual fidelity and realistic lighting, I think that could potentially be worth it, and it seems like that's really what they're going with the 50 series. I'm curious what you think of all of this. DLSS 4 features being backported to the RTX 20 series and 30 series and 40 series. Let me know all of that down below in the comments while I see what you say in yesterday's episode of Hot News. Obviously, just going to address the giant Brett elephant in the room, which is, yes, our camera died during filming yesterday.
That was one of the
our
funniest
editor
things
did the
I've
best he
ever
could
seen.
with the limited footage that he had, and I think
Dude,
he did a
him
great
going
job
in
of
slideshow
conveying
mode
the
was the
emotion I was trying to
funniest
give
thing.
with the slideshow that he created of me, just
must
to
have taken
explain how
forever
this
for him to
technically
make,
happened.
too.
We had to turn our cameras onto silent mode for filming during a keynote during the day, and I did not turn it back to the audible mode where it lets me know if it stops recording. And the battery didn't die, the SD card didn't run out of space, the camera didn't turn off, it just simply stopped recording. And normally we should have an audio cue that happened, and we didn't this time.
Weird.
And as I'm filming right now, I can see that it's still recording. I didn't get the audio cue, so we're all good this episode. But because of how late NVIDIA's keynote was, when I needed to get the footage over to Rickus for him to edit it, I just didn't have time to film that back half of Hot News yesterday. So thank you so much for dealing with our crazy stuff that happens. To traveling and trying to do your normal workflow can be quite tricky. So thank you for pardoning our dust. Dre saying someone turned off frame halfway through the video. But we got people complimenting Rickus's work, saying, okay, not gonna lie, that slideshow after the camera died was actually brilliant. Good job. The Dreadbug saying somebody killed it with those stills. Yeah, Rickus did a great job. Then we got Zoogie Boogie saying 12 gigabytes on a 128-bit bus for $550. Yeah, no thanks. They're lying about performance too. Fake frames with upscaling isn't encouraging. How about real raster? So here's the thing. I understand where this sentiment is coming from. I definitely get it, and I you know, I share that idea, but Jensen's not lying when he says the 5070 is equal to the 4090, because from his worldview and his perspective, raster generated frames and tensor generated frames are 1 for 1. And I think that's just the way he's going to communicate. It's the way he's been communicating for quite some time. This is the vision he casted in 2018 with the RTX 20 series. We're like finally at that point where he's just being like, yeah, tensor cores are now going to be effectively the same thing, deal with it. And so they're not lying, they're just being deceitful, which is not, it's not quite the same thing, right? Like there's fine print here, there are details, it's not as clear cut as he's making it seem, but it's also not a lie. What's that one episode of Seinfeld? It's not a lie if you believe it. Jerry's trying to pass a lie detector. I know you're too young. I'm talking to Michael. Yeah, no, he's too young. It's fine. This is a millennial thing.
It's not a lie if you believe it.
And then Everrope saying some info online suggests the 5090 Founders Edition is in fact 2.5 slots. It's wrong. That's like physically in Jensen's hand, clearly 2 slots. Plenty of pictures, Jacob Freeman over at NVIDIA showing that it is a 2-slot card in systems, and all of NVIDIA, it's a 2-slot card. It's not 2.5. The Founders Edition is a 2-slot card. I did get to see that the 5090 and the 5080 are indeed longer than the 5070. So there is no 5070 Ti Founders Edition. There is a 5070 Founders Edition. They're all 2 slots, but the 5070 is a little bit shrunken down. And then Destroyer saying slap of reality. In terms of raw performance, the 5090 is only roughly a 30% increase over the 4090, allegedly. I've been seeing this 30 to 40% being repeated online in multiple places, and I just want to kind of discuss that because I think the source for that is coming from NVIDIA's own website, and specifically it's coming from this chart. At least generally that's where I've seen it coming from, and people are quoting this Far Cry 6 thing, which shows it's about 30 to 40% faster in Far Cry 6. But you'll notice that not a single one of these games or things does not have ray tracing turned on. So it's not 30% faster in raster. I really don't think it's actually going to be that much faster. I think if you turn off ray tracing based on the charts they're providing, I would expect 15 to 20%. That's what I'm expecting from the 4090 to the 5090 in just pure raw raster, no DLSS, no ray tracing turned on. What's the extra frame rate that you're getting? Which means you're paying 25% more for, you know, a 20% uplift. It's not going to be a clear-cut win, but typically, number one, generation on generation upgrades are usually never worth it. The average cadence for PC upgrades should be 5 to 7 years. But there's also the improved RAM amount, the improved RAM speed. You're getting almost double the amount of memory bandwidth. You're getting 33% more memory. So there are other advantages that are coming with the 5090 that aren't just pure rasterization. And I think that's kind of what NVIDIA is charging for. They're trying to make sure that gamers aren't targeting the 5090. This is going to be for the people with an obscene amount of disposable income or professionals who need it for LLMs or content creation or various different productivity apps that can leverage that 1.8 terabytes per second of memory bandwidth, the people that can utilize the 32 gigabytes of VRAM, the people that can utilize all of this extra tensor core processing that these GPUs can do. There's a lot more advantages to the 5090 outside of gaming, and that's kind of where the Titan always was. It was that prosumer card, and that's kind of where the 5090 is now living. But also, like, I wanna address at least one sentiment that I'm also seeing. Kind of talked about this with various content creators last night after the keynote. Like this idea that only a 30% increase, only a 30% increase. I think there has been a lack of respect for how insanely hard it is to engineer silicon to be better. The fact that we have any improvement at all took a ton of man hours. It took a lot of processing power of human brains in order to make this happen. It is not a guarantee that progress happens. It's not a guarantee that the next thing will be better than the previous thing. If the 5090 was only 1% better than the 4090, but it didn't come at a price increase, but it is better, right? Like that's still an engineering challenge that had to be overcome and developed by some of the world's most technically skilled people with lithography, just software programming, firmware
Lithography is
development, board
is
placement, like all of
honestly
the things
just
that
black
go into this.
magic, I
None of
think.
this is a given.
I
And
feel
so
like if that
while there can be
those
disrespect
machines
targeted
got
towards the
destroyed,
marketing
like all
department
across the world,
of
I
these
doubt that
companies,
they would be
because
able to
there are
recreate
ways to
them.
discuss these things without setting false expectations.
I mean, without
I
like
also want to put some
manuals or
respect
like without
into
any type
the
of
fact that like this took
framework for how it
prowess,
works.
this took brain power, this took like engineers working their butt off to create something that's never been done before. Every time we get a new GPU generation, like we assume that progress will happen, but they had to create it, and to create something out of something that there is no roadmap for. It's just it's admirable, it's respectable. What's not
That is
respectable
fucking
is
nuts.
putting up a slide that says 4090 equals 5070. Like, I just want to put distinctions up there, right? I think there's a nuanced conversation to have here when it comes to the respect to be given towards things like the progress of technological advancement. We can appreciate the efforts of engineers while disappreciating the company's attempts to pull the wool over our eyes on trying to make it seem like the engineers did more than they did. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get misconstrued with what I said, but I wanted to toss that out there. So hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you back here for more of the hottest tech news tomorrow, hopefully.
You canceled, bro.
That was perfect.
What is that noise? What was that?
Oh yeah, speaking of noise,
they like were.
I saw a freaking I saw or I heard some kind of animal last night go like just brawling outside. I don't know what it was, but they were like I think they were foxes, I want to say, or maybe a coyote. But god damn, they were loud. They were louder than the TV. They also have bears back there too, but the rapping dog. And animated Titanic movie. I don't. Well, first of all, how old are you? Because I have a feeling that I am older than you think. So it's kind of rare I get anybody that's like really close to my age that stopped on. But you never know. Oh shit, okay. Close. Yeah. If a cat's fighting is pretty nuts too. I'm 36. Well, not too far off. There's a few other people that um that follow that come on every day, or usually every time I'm live they stop by, but um it's crazy because they're all from Europe too. I think it's because a lot of time I go on in the morning, and in Europe, like they're getting out of school or it's like getting home from work at the same time that I am basically waking up and going live, which is crazy. So yeah, hopefully, I don't know. This is stream number 50. Hopefully I can get the capture card for my Xbox to work a little bit better, or PoE updates it. 2 cups of milk, 1 makes sense. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, Titanic. Cartoon. That's funny. It is weird sometimes what studios end up doing, you know? Um, let's see. Titanic. The Legend of Titanic? Of the Titanic? Ah. Oh, the legend goes on. It looks like Scooby-Doo, almost. Oh man, this reminds me of like All Dogs Go to Heaven. I don't want to play too much. I don't want to get copyright struck, but that's actually really cool. You know, I wonder if my daughter would like it. I'm gonna show her that. I'm gonna copy the URL real quick. Where is it? I always love finding old movies like that. Oh yeah.
If it hadn't been for you, I would be now in someone else's digestion.
You know there's something you should know, so I'm gonna tell you so. Don't sweat it, forget it, enjoy the show. Working all day, now it's time to unwind. Kick back, relax, take a load off your mind. I'll be busting the moves and I'll be busting the rhymes. We'll be busting up laughing cause it's party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time.
Right, it's like Space Jam meets All Dog Goes to Heaven. So like,
Just leave your troubles at the door, leave your worries behind. Leave the rest up to me, you're gonna like what you find. I'll be busting the moves and I'll be busting the rhymes. We'll be busting up laughing cause it's party time. Party time, it's party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time.
Wait, so
party time, it's party time. Everybody's feeling fine.
Why is this is on the Titanic?
Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time.
Obviously, way before that.
Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, it's party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, it's party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time. It's party time.
Oh, that's crazy. That is pretty wild. Thank you for showing me that. That's actually really cool. Oh shit. All right. I actually have to end the stream. I was planning on ending right now anyway, but what am I at? I'm at hour 15. Oh, and I did it like an hour and a half before that. This is not the weirdest thing. I did the weird one too. Shit, dude. All right, I will definitely write that down. Thank you for following and stopping by and checking out my stream. I really appreciate it. Like, beyond you even understanding. Um, it's taken quite a while to get used to doing this, and I'm still not obviously used to doing it, but um, I usually go live. I've been trying to go live in the like I most of the time I go live in the morning, like around 9 or 10 in the morning Eastern time. Um, but sometimes I'll go live at nighttime too. I'm really trying to like put down like a solid schedule for when I go on. But most of the time it's like Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and sometimes Fridays, and then like I'll pop in randomly on the weekend sometimes, but um yeah, I really appreciate anybody stopping by, even if it's for like a second. It doesn't matter, dude. It's awesome. I really appreciate it. Um, but yeah, my name is Sean. I am Good Bad Man. Your name will be on at the end of this outro that I'm about to play. Next video. Also, I said this at the intro. I'm going to stop doing the AI thumbnails after this video, number 50. And I'm going to start really trying to create them myself. I did it kind of as a gimmick and a thing, but I don't really like it anymore. But that being said, and me rambling too much, thank you very much for watching, everybody. My VODs will be on YouTube now. I figured out how to way to export all that shit over there because I didn't realize Twitch deletes them. But thank you, everybody. And we are going to the outro right now.